Hi everyone. In this video we will see impact of LPG on Indian economy. There are important impacts on Indian economy after adoption of the policy of LPG, that is liberalization, privatization and globalization in 1991. Because of these reforms many good things happened like increase in the India GDP growth rate, foreign direct investment and per capita income. Policy has facilitated the flow of foreign capital, technology and managerial expertise, thereby improving efficiency of industry. Also, unemployment rate was reduced. Though there are certain negative impacts are also there like low growth of agriculture sector, adverse impact on environment, etc. First, we will see positive impact of LPG on Indian economy. First, increase in GDP growth rate. During 1990 and 91, India's GDP growth rate was only 1.1%. But after 1991 reforms due to LPG policy, India's GDP growth rate increased year by year and in 2015 it was recorded 7.226. Because of the abolition and industrial licensing, privatization, advanced foreign technology, and reduction of taxes, India's GDP increased after 1991 reforms. Second, increase in foreign direct investment, that is FDI. India has already marked its presence as one of the fastest growing economies of the world. FDI increased from Rs 408 crores in 1991 to Rs 1,06,693 crores in 2015 after the introduction of the new economic reforms of globalization. Third, increase in per capita income. Per capita income of average income measures the average income earned per person in a given area, city, region, country, etc. It is calculated by dividing the area's total income by its total population. In 1991, India's per capita income was Rs 11,235, but in 2014-15, per capita income is reached to Rs 85,533. Per capita income is increased due to increase in employment. Due to new economy policy of globalization and privatization, many job opportunities are created, so people's income was increased. Fourth positive impact, unemployment rate is reduced. In 1991, unemployment rate was 4.3%, but after India adopted the new LPG policy, more employment is generated because of globalization. Many new foreign companies came in India, and due to liberalization, many new entrepreneurs have started new companies because of abolition of industrial licensing, permit Raj. So, employment is generated, and due to which India's unemployment rate is reduced from 4.3% in 1991 to 3.6% in 2014. Fifth, decrease in the financial debit. Privatization has resulted into reduction of the government's financial and administrative burden. A fiscal deficit refers to a situation where the revenue generated is exceeded by the expenditures made by the government. The fiscal deficit of India before 1991 was 8.5% of gross operating profit, but it came down to 4% of the gross operating profit in 2015. Further, we will see limitation or negative impact of LPG. First one, low growth of agriculture sector. Agriculture has been and still remains the backbone of Indian economy. It plays a vital role not only in providing food and nutrition to the people, but also in the supply of raw material to industries and to export trade. In 1991, agriculture provided employment to 72% of the population and contributed 29.02% of the gross domestic product. However, in 2014, the share of agriculture in the GDP went down drastically to 17.9%. This has resulted in a lowering the per capita income of the farmers and increasing the rural indebtedness. GDP composition in 2014 are as follows: agriculture 17.9%, industry 24.2%, and services 57.9%. Second, threat from foreign competition. Due to opening up of the Indian economy to foreign competition through liberalization and FDI policy, more MNCs are attracted towards India after 1991 reforms, and they are competing local businesses and companies. Since these MNCs have lot of financial capacity, or those are big organizations with advanced foreign technology, they have large production capacity and huge money for promotion and other research activities. They are easily defeating our local Indian companies, and they had acquired many Indian companies as well. Because of financial constraints, lack of advanced technology and production inefficiencies, our Indian companies facing problem in this globalization period. Third limitation of LPG. Adverse impact on environment. Globalization has also contributed to the destruction of the environment through pollution and clearing of vegetation cover. With the construction of companies, the emission from manufacturing plants are causing environmental pollution which further affects the health of many people. The construction also destroys the vegetation cover which is important in the very survival of both humans and other animals. Fourth, increase in income disparity. Globalization leads to widening income gaps within the country. Globalization benefits only to those who have skills and the technology in the country. The higher growth rate achieved by an economy can be at the expense of declining incomes of people who may be rendered redundant. Globalization was widened the gap between the rich and poor, rises inequalities. Further, we will see advantages and disadvantages of each of the following in details, that is liberalization, privatization and globalization. Liberalization. Liberalization refers to the process of releasing unnecessary government controls and restriction for the smooth functioning of trade and businesses. It means opening up the Indian economy to trade and investment with the rest of the world. It means that opening the door for doing business to all over the world. Till 1991, India had an import protection policy wherein trade with the rest of the world was limited to exports. Foreign investments was very difficult to come into India due to bureaucratic framework. After the start of the economic liberalization, India started getting huge capital inflows and it has emerged as the second fastest growing country in the world. Advantages of liberalizations are freedom for expansion of and production to industries, increase in the investment limit of the small industries, freedom to import the capital goods and raw materials, freedom to import technology, liberalization of exports and import transactions, liberalization in taxation policy, liberalization in capital markets, liberalization in banking sector, increase the foreign investment, increase the foreign exchange reserve, increase the consumption, control over price, check on corruption, reduction in dependence on external commercial borrowings. There are some disadvantages of liberalization. Those are increase in unemployment, loss of domestic units, increased dependence on foreign nations, unbalanced development, heavy competition from abroad economic, instability as any change in currency in the foreign market will have a major impact on the economy. Domestic sector will be dependent on cheap raw materials from abroad. Privatization. Privatization means transfer of ownership and or management of an enterprise from the public sector to the private sector. It can be done in two ways. First, outright sale of part of the equity of public sector undertakings, that is PSUs, to private entrepreneurs, also known as disinvestment, or withdrawal of ownership and management of the public sector companies from the government to the private sector. Privatization means replacing government monopolies with the competitive pressures of the marketplace to encourage efficiency, quality, and innovation in the delivery of goods and services. There are some advantages of privatization, which are increase in efficiency, professional management, increase in competition in line with international trends, reduction in political interference, encourage to new innovations, increase the industrial growth, increase the foreign investment, and reduction in public sector. There are some disadvantages of privatization, which are industrial sickness, lack of welfare, class struggle, increase in inequality, opposition by employees, political pressure, increase in unemployment, ignores the weaker sections. Below are some of the successful privatizations in India. Lagan Jute Machinery Company Limited, LJMC. Gross turnover pre-privatization was 6 million till April-June 2000. Post-privatization it increased to rupees 24 million. Second, Modern Food Industries Limited, that is MFIL. Share value went from rupees 2138 on 30th December prior to sell to rupees 3247 on 25th Feb post sale. Third, Pradeep Phosphates Limited, that is PPL. Net profit pre-sale was minus 57.95 crore. Post-sale it was positive 23.96 crore. Next, Bharat Aluminium Company Limited, that is Balco. Next, Hotel Corporation of India Limited, HCI, and Hindustan Zinc Limited, that is HZL. Globalization. Globalization refers to the process by which ideas, goods, and services are spread throughout the world by crossing the national boundaries. It means that opening up the economy for foreign direct investment by liberalizing the rules and regulations and by creating favorable socio-economic and political climate for global business. Opening and planning to expand business throughout the world. Buying and selling goods and services from or to any countries in the world. Below are the advantages of globalization: increase in foreign trade, increase in foreign investment, foreign direct investment, increase in foreign collaboration, increase in foreign exchange reserves, expansion of market, technological development, brand development, development of service sectors, development of capital markets, improvement in standard of living. Below are some disadvantages of globalization: loss of domestic industries, unemployment, exploitation of labor, demonstration effect, increase in inequalities, dominance of foreign institutions. Below are some of the main organizations facilitating globalization: International Monetary Fund, World Bank, and World Trade Organization. Thank you. Hope this video will be helpful for you. Would like to hear from you. Please provide your comments and subscribe to get updates.